I mentioned that thing about that girl before. You remember you bringing that up? You thought he liked this one girl.
Oh, yes.
Years ago. He didn't even remember any
really?
of that. Yeah. So.
Okay, good.
We blame you for that.
Yeah, you got to. Man, to be fair though, I told him I was like, it's strong weed. Don't like go crazy. And if you don't like regularly smoke weed, whatever.
Now we're primed for podcasting.
Yeah, I can hear. Oh, it's weird. It's like.
Well, it's cool because when every time I record everyone doing the lines, right, it's like directed right at them. I get nice, clean, crisp
both
audio.
sides.
And then I'll go and combine this in the editor. So like you're on one side, I'm on one side.
Yeah.
That way it's just.
That's what I'm saying. It's just disorienting because I hear me on the left side and I hear you on the right side, and then it makes me feel like this way. Yeah.
Well, welcome to Sequel Podcast. I'm at Bonta.
I'm Drew Ernhout.
All right, Drew, what's going on? You're going to bring the funny today, right? It's going to have a nice, funny episode.
I mean, maybe, yeah. What are we talking about? What's been going on?
Not much.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I guess we should just end it now.
Yeah, I guess it's over. You're right. No, yeah, I haven't been up to much, really. I mean, since we wrapped, I've been just kind of working, trying, like I was saying before we were recording here, trying to, get some sketches going, trying to play with a band, trying to... I feel like I'm not exposed enough artistically, yeah. So I need to start mixing with people. It's easy to get in the routine of off work at home, play a game or something. Yeah, not do anything.
What are you playing? Anything?
I used to play in a band. Well, I still do play in a band.
Oh, I meant video games.
Oh, video games.
We can circle back around to music.
I got way into Fallout 76 because when it first came out, the general consensus was that it sucked, and then. But I love Fallout.
I'll be the judge of that, right?
Yeah, well,
that's how I am. Every time someone says that movie was bad, well, let me see how bad it was.
Well, and also it came around, it was free on PlayStation, and when I look online, people are like, it's been updated, it got fixed, all that stuff, so yeah, I played that, but I pretty much got to the point where it becomes like a grind, and then I started to question... when you get to a game where it's a point where it's there's really no reason to keep playing but to keep playing, you can get a better item that'll let you do this thing quicker so that you can get a better item.
In the game, but you can keep
and it's just like a circular, you don't ever really get anything, there's nothing else to do, and then I start to feel guilty about the time that I put into it. Like I'm saying, once I get
That's not the first time I've heard someone talk about feeling guilty about playing video games. You do you play I know Resident Evil 4, the remake just came out, remaster.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that one yet. I'm waiting for the Elden Ring DLC. I was big on Elden Ring before Fallout. I was big on Bannerlord. You know Bannerlord?
Nope.
So tight, medieval. It's a medieval simulator where you run a kingdom, you capture castles and that stuff.
Right.
What are you playing?
I've been playing Resident Evil Village.
Oh, nice.
Which is old. But I bought it and never played it.
Is it the Africa one?
No, I think that's New Orleans, Louisiana, something like that. Is there an Africa one?
I thought there was one where it's a team and you're in. I thought it was
if there is, that might be way old. This one's 8. Village is 8. Village is the most recent.
Oh yes, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
And then they just remade 4, which was it's like another village.
Yeah, I played 4 on GameCube, way back.
Was it GameCube or Wii?
It's for sure GameCube for me.
Okay. I don't know if did that come out on GameCube? Maybe.
Pretty sure it did, because I never had a PlayStation. I only had a GameCube. I never had a Wii either.
Okay.
I should...
It might have. Right now. It might have. You can look it up.
I think it was on the end of the life cycle for that one.
It might have been, because they put it out for Wii in a special kind of... for the nunchuck and the
it's the one with Leon and the zombies and stuff speak Spanish.
Yes.
And they're you go through
and he's got a little girl that he's protecting the entire game.
Yeah. My phone makes me do this CAPTCHA every time because I put on a VPN, so now it just always thinks that I'm
not you.
Yeah, that I'm not you, and I have to verify that I'm not a robot. Yeah, it was on GameCube.
Okay.
So am I crazy?
Yeah, they just remastered that. So I was I don't want to just get that without having played the other one. I'll buy a game and never play it.
Yeah.
Because I don't really spend a lot of time on games because I'm trying to watch movies and TV and educate myself that way. So it's I'll do Fortnite for a couple matches, real easy stuff.
Do you have a PlayStation 5?
No.
Or Xbox, I mean, I guess current gen.
I've got I've got 4.
Me neither. Yeah, me too.
PS4. I figure because I like Borderlands. Mm-hmm. That's my favorite game.
Oh yeah, Borderlands.
So if 4 comes out on 5, which it most likely will.
Borderlands 4 on 5. Yeah. Okay. yeah.
That's when I'll get one.
You'll
right.
Upgrade.
Because there's no game on there that's like I need to get it to play.
Yeah, not yet. I will say there was
like even my buddy Mikey, who you probably met at the party. Like he got it right when it came out, but it's like there was nothing to play on it.
Yeah, so that's how I felt about it.
Had it and has
it's
it.
Like at $500 or $600 or even more, $800. Like I think it's I can't justify the expense.
Right, when there's not even really.
Yeah.
When all the games that come out on it were still on the older
like
versions.
Elden Ring is the biggest one that I would have wanted to play, and I'm already playing it on PlayStation 4. Yeah.
Right. So once like the exclusives come out, then it'll be a justification.
Like a new Last of Us or something, then I will.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so now about the music. You've been doing some music?
Yeah, like I said, just trying to re-fire up the band. Like I used to play in a band. It's just a 2-man band. Me and my friend Michael. We're called Small Drawings. We played a lot. Like we played a ton of bars around town for a couple years or a few years, and then I moved to Japan, and then kind of just life stuff. He had a kid, all that, and we haven't been playing like really consistently or anything. But now that we're both back in town and like.
You kind of get some shit going.
Yeah, trying to get it back together. Like we had a practice 2 weeks ago, and it was like played all our old songs, kind of like wonkily, but got through them. Like kind of just to be like, we can still do this. Yeah,
a little rusty.
Yeah,
but, breaking that rust off.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But really, I just like I said, I want to be like more involved. I feel like I spend so much time at my work and stuff, being like, I'm bitter. Like, why am I not making art? Why am I not making movies? Like, I'll listen to podcasts and stuff and be like, why isn't my life like this guy's life? And then
I hear you.
But but like the critical part of myself is like because you don't get involved in the community, because you don't like you're not putting things out there. So trying to like inspire myself to get out and be doing more stuff, get involved in more things. Yeah.
I know Greg's always doing stuff. I mentioned that thing about that girl before. You remember you bringing that up? You thought he liked this one girl.
Oh yes.
Years ago. He didn't even rember any
really?
Of that. Yeah. So
okay, good. Good. Like I said, it doesn't matter anymore. She's married, and that was all 10 years ago.
Well, I thought that was a funny story. I thought it'd be interesting if he'd be like, "Oh yeah," but then it was like, I don't know. I don't remember. So that was a non-starter.
Maybe he's just saying that to protect himself. Like what? I don't even know what you're talking about.
So last time you were here was post-movie filming, but now we're kind of post-premiere. How did the premiere go for you?
Premiere was awesome. My parents really enjoyed it. They came.
Oh, your parents?
Yeah,
really?
my parents
so
came
who
with
all
Kayla.
Came with you?
Yeah, my girlfriend Kayla, my mom and dad. I could have invited. I didn't realize how big the crowd would be and stuff. And when we were talking about like ticket numbers and stuff, I didn't want to like tell it to everyone because I have a bunch of family in town. But then after the premiere, my grandma and like my aunt and stuff were like, "Why didn't you invite me?"
You should have invited them.
Yeah, I should have invited them. We had enough seats, but that's what I'll give them the Blu-ray. I'll let them watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there was enough seats, but we still kind of had a packed house.
Yeah, no, it was a good audience. I liked it, man. I like I said, I'm very
good
impressed with the quality of like the production, just of everything.
That's right.
Cinematography.
Like everyone's seen it for the first time, then, right? I mean, I've been sitting with it,
Yeah, you've seen
every
it a
day
lot.
since.
Well, yeah,
so,
editing, you get used to like.
So it's like I watch the same
amazing.
bullshit every day. All the things I hate are glaringly, highlighted for me. But like you would have seen it for the first time.
Yep.
And also like you're only in kind of like a small part, so like. All the other shit, I mean, beyond like reading the script and everything else like that, all the other shit would be like fresh and new. It'd be like watching a movie.
To watch other scenes. There were scenes that I never like. I read
them. The whole opening of that movie is like its own little short film.
Yep.
So
it was all fresh impressions.
So it was good. You liked it. It was okay.
It was good. No, I didn't hate it at all. It was good. I don't know. I don't want to be critical.
No, it's fine. Like
I thought the movie, I thought it looked great, and I think that the script was great and everything. My only complaint as an actor was part of it. Was some of it I was being like, oh, we could have done better acting.
Absolutely.
Like at some of these parts. Like I really hope, and I'm not trying to step too far, but like if we do another film, I'd love to help with like some of the acting stuff, just to be like, because I've done like a ton of theater and all this kind of stuff, and I feel like a lot of this we could have just like. Sometimes I got the impression from people, and myself included, like that they were more trying to remember the line and where to like move and stuff like that.
Some of the early stuff, right? And I've heard this. Recently on like a podcast, somebody else, where it's like throw out like the first couple of weeks, right? Because everyone's still kind of getting comfortable with each other and with doing it again or for the first time. Yeah, like throw that out. Like I like the school stuff, where they're just sitting around talking and shit, talking about you.
Yeah.
I really wanted to. I rewrote that to take place at like a drive-in theater, and it's like, let's reshoot this.
Yeah.
Like, because like that first opening scene post credits where Jason gets into the budget truck. That's all a reshoot. I originally shot that back at the beginning of filming during the day, and I was like, no,
and did a reshoot.
Let's do that at night. And like it's way better.
Yeah.
And I want to do that with the kids also.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out, right? And like that's the big problem is timing. You know, we don't always have the time to like.
That's true.
Keep doing this, right? So the acting does get a little uneven, and especially like in the beginning when everyone's still getting comfortable, like when they're here, when you were here, and we shot all that stuff. Yeah,
because we didn't really know each other, we hadn't really rehearsed.
That was only day 2.
Yeah.
So everyone was still kind of getting comfortable with each other. After that, like when we're in the woods, everyone's way more comfortable with each other.
Well, and even just I think we would benefit a lot, like if we next time on something just stop, like even right before every scene, and be like, okay, like where are we? What are we doing? How do you know him? How do you know her? What happened just before this? What happened just after this? Especially with filming when we are doing it out of order sometimes and stuff.
Right.
Because even though everybody knows it, like you don't necessarily consciously know it. Like it brings us all into the same like kind of thing. Yeah, but again, I thought it was great. There are some parts where I was being like, God, I feel like if we... Do you know, like when you see an actor sometimes where it's like they in their head, you know, they say the line, they're like, yeah, nailed it, that is the line. But like that should be kind of like the last thing, you know, like they should know, you should know it for sure.
I think some of that comes with the fact that a lot of these people were not actors.
Yeah.
So like I don't want to.
No, I'm not even talking shit on anyone.
I don't want to call anyone out here.
No, I'm not calling on anyone individually. Like I said, it's me too. Like in the scenes, I was doing it too. Like, okay, I need to be right here when I get stabbed, and I need to be, you know what I mean? And all those like kind of top thoughts, there's still all the stuff under it, like my inflection. What am I trying to convey here? Like that kind of stuff.
And we're not afforded the opportunity to play is where you become that character
you gotta
by
like stay in
night.
it. Yeah.
Where you know what you're gonna say, right? Opposed to like thinking about it.
Yeah.
But also that's some of my directing style too. Is I like to have a little bit more spontaneity to it, which is why I'm not like so super strict about memorization.
About lines and stuff. Yeah.
So.
Well, and also it fit the style perfectly. You know what I mean? Like when you watch like the early Jasons and stuff like that, it's not
all the like you never see those actors ever again. So they might as well probably died. Like you really killed them because they never went on to do anything else.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of like non-actors in this movie. In fact, probably 90% are like non-actors.
Yeah.
Like Allie was probably one of the only ones that Greg obviously.
Yeah, Allie.
And then
Greg.
like my regulars that are in all my other movies, Dakota Corey, who played Weed, and he's played Weed in several other movies prior to this one.
Yeah, and he's real funny. He's really comfortable with that character. You can tell, like, you know what I mean, inhabited the character,
And Paul was only in, like, 1 or 2 things before this, so he's still kind of getting into the whole acting thing and figuring it out. So, like, he's less stiff than he has been before, but you could still see that, and he wants to do a good job, right?
Yeah.
So, like you were saying, is just too much thought on being, like, too perfect.
Yeah.
Just loosen up a little bit and just let it flow out.
Yeah.
So.
But honestly, I think that like it's the sky's the limit. Like I said, the cinematography, the equipment that we have, everything, it looks like crisp and beautiful. And it's like, we can make like a real film. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, and like we
made a real film. This is a real film.
Yes,
it's awesome. Like,
I mean, we've won awards since then. So like,
really?
I've gotten Best Feature on a couple of different festivals.
Sweet.
Best Director.
Awesome.
Couple
Congratulations.
Best
That's tight. No, it's really cool.
So, and there's more to come. There's about 20 or so more that are still pending. So we're still waiting to hear on those.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe we get to go to something one day.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Cast trip.
It would be amazing. Hell yeah, it would be amazing. Like, that's the dream. I feel very hopeful for everything going forward.
Yeah, me too.
More so than I felt before. Maybe I'm just, fooling myself. But like you gotta,
like I said,
gotta
I thought
stay hopeful.
Yeah, like brilliant. My mom literally said that was like a movie. I was like, yes, it was a movie. That was the point.
Right, and like we're using better equipment than they've had like in the past. Like obviously not big budget
drone
studio
shots,
films,
all this stuff. Yeah.
But I mean, like some famous independent movies, like we've got better equipment and shit like that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We don't necessarily have like the timing and the budget that some of those have, where they carve out like a month day to day, and they can just do the whole thing, So, but we're there.
Well, it also just kind of depends on the script. Like this script would have been hard to do that way because there's so many parts and there's so many locations and like all that kind of stuff.
Because I rewatched Not in the Dark recently, and I was like, man, if we made that last summer instead of this, because the cast is like a third of what
smaller.
It was, and like as many times as we were up at the fucking Frenchman Lake Forest, like Midnight or Not in the Dark we were up there like twice. Like, I mean, like, we're in the same spot that I shot that at.
Yeah.
But, like, man, like, that movie, like, if only we'd shot that one instead.
Just much easier to shoot.
It would look that much better, too. Like, but that's okay. I got this. I'm proud of this.
It's all part of the arc. It's all part of the,
We're getting there. We're getting to the next level and everything else like that. So, whatever's next, you know, whether we get money for this proof of concept thing I'm doing or like a smaller script.
Yeah.
Like I kind of want to go back and do like a crime film. Like that's what I like doing is crime films. And I've said this before. I don't know if I said it on a podcast, but I said it to someone before. I think I did to like Corey is like, it's hard to do a horror movie when people are looking to maybe get scared, right? And like if you tend to overcompensate for some of the things you're lacking, like maybe the acting, right? You can just throw blood on it, right?
Yeah,
and make the blood bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily do that. So like my crime films, like we can have the acting kind of lead through that whole movie, and not need to rely on the tricks that people are expecting in a horror film. So I can't do the same thing going from a crime movie to a horror movie and use the same tricks.
Yeah, different toolbox,
It's a whole different toolbox. And, like, I feel bad with the blood stuff, right? Like, because we don't always have, like, a second costume to do another take, right?
Yeah.
And we're not near, like, a shower if I want to dump a bucket of blood on someone's head.
Start over.
So, like, we need to get it right the first time. And I do not want to torture people, right? So
it's part of it. I love it. I love the getting stabbed and having the blood on you and all that. Yeah, it's cool.
It was great. Everyone loves your jaw rip. They love the jaw rip.
Yeah, it looks good.
So
it's cool. Like I said, it very much is reminiscent to me of like the early Jasons. You know what I mean? Like that kind of effect and stuff. It's cool.
You know, and you look at the other ones too. They do a lot of Friday. Well, I mean, it's Jason.
Yeah, I'm calling it the Jasons, but
the Jasons.
Yeah.
But even the earlier Friday the 13th, like a lot of those kills were cutaways, right? You'd see like the axe go, and then it would cut to another scene or
a scream or
something
whatever.
Else. It's like real easy stuff.
Yeah,
they got away with it. So maybe we got away with it. You know, met them halfway. Some better kills and some cutaways as well.
Yeah.
But I wrote some of those, like when he kills Amy in the van, right? And he just kind of shoves her in the van, and the door closes. I wanted it like that. Too, Sleeping Bag's a classic. Yeah. Everyone loves that. I don't know why they love that.
Because it's so brutal and it's cool, yeah.
Well, what else you got going on? What do you want to talk about? You seen any movies lately?
That's pretty much it. Honestly, I've been really getting obsessed with like cults. I've been reading about cults, trying to write like a book about cults. Not really. I'm trying to write a book and incorporate a cult into
like
it.
a fictional book.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even that one, I'm kind of like maybe I should try and write a script or whatever. For me, I think the battle is just finishing it, you know what I mean? And then later you can go back and be like, okay. I'm trying to motivate myself to like just finish
even
something.
if you're writing crap, you can always go back
and finish it and fix it.
But if it's not there, you got nothing to play with.
Yeah, so I've been doing that. I don't know why. I go through like, I mean, probably everybody does this, but I'll just have periods like before I was like suddenly got very interested in medieval stuff and like all that, you know, like dive into it, reading about Henry VIII, whatever. And then somehow, I don't remember really how it even started. I started getting into Scientology and just reading about it, and it's just so crazy to me.
Alien ghosts?
Yeah, well, and just the whole thing, like the actual, like, what it would feel like to be in that. How do people, like there are people doing it right now in Scientology. It's crazy to me, like, to be, like, totally encompassed in this, like, alternate world, basically. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're just stuck in, like, this weird belief system, but, like, it's crazy to me that
they really believe that, though?
From my research so far, what I've found is the stuff that we know about like the aliens and being dumped in the volcano and all that is like high level Scientology stuff that most like 98% of Scientologists will never hear, and it will never be part of the religion for them. And if they ask somebody about it, one, it's the penalty for even knowing about it. Like you're not supposed to know about it. And two, they would just deny it. They'd say, oh no, that's not it. Because to them, the higher up people, they're like, oh, they're not ready for that knowledge. It could hurt them. They literally believe it could give you pneumonia if you hear the word Xenu and you aren't prepared like to do it. I lost my train of thought.
Did you ever watch the Leah Remini interviews with like Joe Rogan?
Yeah,
where she talks
I did
about
hers. She's on Joe Rogan. David Miscavige's dad is on Joe Rogan. I went through both of those ones, and then she has her own podcast.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But it's right now currently canceled by Scientology. They've tied it up like in all these like legal things, and they've made them, all the sponsors have pulled and all this stuff. So the last episode they were like, "Don't worry, we'll be back," and then it's been, I want to say like 4 or 5 months. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Because they're very litigious. They're very like crazy with what they'll do to like stop people.
Maybe they'll stop this one.
Maybe. Honestly, if it picked up and we were saying bad stuff about them, they might hit you with like a copyright thing or whatever. Yeah, they might.
Well, I mean, that South Park episode is still available to watch, right?
Yeah, a lot of them say that South Park episode like really kind of like broke open a lot of things. You know what I mean? Like made it significantly harder for them to like recruit people or whatever because people had seen that and just immediately were like, "Oh yeah, they're crazy."
Well, I mean, Tom Cruise is still like number one.
Yeah, I'm very interested in that one too. Like because
mascot.
He's a huge celebrity. He's one of the biggest celebrities in the world. He undoubtedly knows about the things that take place in Scientology, like people being held against their will, like smearing people, stalking people. Like he definitely knows about all that stuff, and yet he continues to participate. It's like, yeah, I don't know. You see him, you want him to think he's like a big hero, big nice guy, and all that kind of stuff. But it's like he's really complicit in all of this stuff.
Right, it has to be. Since he's so hardcore about it.
And it talks about just like he basically gets slave labor from Scientology. Like anything he wants, they'll send out like grunts to do the stuff, to like remodel his house, to help him renovate like vehicles or whatever. Like it also says he's very insulated. Like now these days, if he works on a movie or something, every person that's around him is a Scientologist. Like
really,
his assistants, his everything, like they're all that, and he's basically like fully insulated from regular people. Like if you were on a movie with him or something, you couldn't just go up and be like, "Hey, how about that Scientology thing?" It's like, no, he comes in, does his thing, steps out.
Even his co-stars.
Yeah, I don't like it. They're not. I mean, technically, if someone were to ask him about that, he is like kind of required to like leave the production or silence that person. Like they even say like if like Leah Remini was at a award show. And Elizabeth Moss, she's a Scientologist, was at the same award show. And when Leah Remini was called for the award, she had to leave. Elizabeth Moss had to leave the room because she's an SP. She's a suppressive person. So it's just crazy. Like I said, it sounds like a science fiction thing, but it's like crazy to me that people are actually living this life and have been for years. I mean, there's like generational families,
Well, I mean, I can get behind the idea of having an alternative religion. Right, that's fine.
Yeah,
absolutely fine.
Yeah,
and I could only go so deep before I like lose interest.
Yeah.
But like, you read that like L. Ron Hubbard made it up as a bet, maybe.
Yeah, people think that before he said the way you really make money is you make a religion. But L. Ron Hubbard also is a very interesting, crazy dude. He was very prolific, like as a writer. He was very.
Yes.
Some people think he might have had schizophrenia or like some sort of mental illnesses, and this was kind of like his answer to like trying to cure it in himself.
Did you ever watch or read Preacher?
The comic?
Yeah.
I think I saw a show. Yeah, I think I saw some episodes of the show.
But you didn't watch the whole thing? Where do you stand on religion?
I'm not religious. I would say I'm firmly agnostic. I don't discount it. I'm not going to tell anybody their religion's like not true or anything like that because I don't know. But also I don't go to church or anything.
Right.
I don't.
Not pushing your politics on someone else. I'm atheist. Right. I don't believe. But like if someone can prove it, like
that's what I'm saying. I don't believe.
I can't prove that he doesn't exist.
Yeah, I don't know.
But as far as the road that I'm traveling, atheism is the way I'm going to go.
Yeah.
But like Preacher is funny because, like there's a Jesus, but he's like a descendant of the original Jesus, but like he's like a copy of a copy of copy all the way down.
Yeah.
So he's like super mentally challenged, but like
warped from the
warped from all of the copying of the lack. It's not a clone. It's like a extreme descendant down the line.
Yeah.
Because I think they had to like keep the bloodline as pure as possible, and so he's all fucked up from that.
Yeah.
And he's got like a fucked up weird name or something like that. Man, it's been a while since I watched it, but like, they're like, well, how can we have this guy be our poster boy for the religion? So they got to keep him locked away.
Yeah, and like hidden away.
Yeah, his name's like snickerdo or something like that. Something really weird and fucked. You should watch it.
Yeah,
it's
maybe
fantastic.
I'll check that out.
It's probably on AMC Plus.
Okay.
Maybe Hulu.
We'll
I watched it on Hulu.
Hopefully
but since then, AMC Plus became a thing.
Oh, its own thing.
Yeah.
Too many goddamn streaming things out.
Yeah, I know, and I got them all.
Because we do too. And then when the bills come at the end of the month, I'm like, why do we have Tubi Plus? And like, why do we have Paramount Plus and all these other ones? It's like, because there's one show and we watched it and then forgot to cancel.
Well, I'm a junkie for movies, right?
Me
and
too.
like, I look up where it's at. It's like, okay, I got that, so I can watch it. It sucks when it's not on anything.
Yeah.
It's like I've got 50 of these things and it's not on one of them.
I need to go back to torrenting, which is illegal, so you shouldn't do it. But when I was torrenting stuff, I could just download anything and put it on there. I did that a lot before. But yeah, with the cult stuff, really, it's just interesting to me because, like, being a person who's non-religious, I wonder, like, if people caught me at the right time, could they have got me into it? You know what I mean?
Like
if someone,
were you, open to perception?
Yeah, like nobody. I've never met like a real Scientologist who's been like, "Hey, you're interested" or whatever. But like at times in my life when I was like looking for something else, or meaning or something, I wonder like, could I have been one of these people? Because like it's an easy thing to think like, oh, they're all dumb or they're brainwashed or whatever. But
you've
like,
got the sneaker guy. What was that one called? The Heaven's Gate.
Oh yeah, Heaven's Gate.
The Heaven's Gate people. Mm-hmm. You got the Jim Jones.
Jim Jones
people.
Is that the Scientology and the Jonestown, the People's Temple. Those are the ones that I've been really like digging into.
It's fucked up because Jim Jones seemed like he was a good guy at first.
He did start out as a good dude. He was big about like racial integration.
Yeah.
He was big about like just basically giving, like helping people, whatever. He had small community churches. People weren't required to like give their whole life to the thing. Like they had regular jobs.
Not like,
regular,
the Catholics or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's the other thing too is like Scientology. It is a cult. I think it's a cult, but
cultish.
But now that L. Ron Hubbard's dead, like what makes it really different than a religion?
Now you're going down a road. Like okay, if the guy that started it all is not around anymore, it's like, well, does God really exist? And if he doesn't, then what's all this all about?
Yeah.
Is the Bible real? Who knows? I don't know. Like someone had to write that.
Yeah.
I don't want to go there because then I'm going to go on an atheist rant.
It's all good. Like I said, I'm fairly anti-religious too. I just the only reason I don't say atheist is because I don't know. If someone was like, "Are you sure there's no God?" I'd be like, "No," but I don't really feel like there is.
Yeah. That sounds atheist to me. That's my atheist. Yeah. I wouldn't consider myself agnostic because I'm definitely standing in that, that grouping of I don't believe in God.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're going to ask me to prove it, I can't. So, like, fuck you.
Yeah. But, yeah, just more, like, the question of it becomes, like, why is that not legitimate, but Christianity is, or Judaism is, or whatever. Like,
but they all made their own offshoots.
Yeah, they all...
Lutheran, the Church of England.
Well, there's Baptists, and there's all kinds of, different, like, offshoots of
so they're like, well,
Pentecostal.
I don't like this chapter. I don't like this chapter. I'll take the rest, and we'll call it something else.
Yeah, or no, you should have read it this way, and they didn't see that, so then we have a new... Yeah. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
Let's go back to Zeus and Hera and Athena.
I'm down. Those were fun gods that had drama.
Yeah, like, I could just pick the one that I want to pray to if that's what I'm into.
Yeah,
other gods,
When I was in Japan, that's kind of what they believe. Like that.
Aren't they atheist also?
They're super non-religious, I would say, but they're traditionally... So, like, people would tell me they believe in multiple, like you might say the god of rice, the god of harvest, that kind of stuff, but nobody like literally believes in it really.
Right.
Like they just believe in it from like their history. Yeah, but they believe in ancestors. They believe that like...
Well, that's kind of like the saints, right? And the martyrs that were martyred and then sainted because of it. And so now you can people have like the St. Christopher's cross for like safe travels and shit like that. Sounds like kind of like the same thing.
Yeah, and they
all
definitely
make up our own shit, man.
Yeah, when they go to like shrines, like it's a big part of it, going to a shrine, like doing the clap thing, whatever, donating your stuff. But nobody really believes like
lighting up incense.
Yeah, incense. We did all that stuff. Like I said, we went to a shrine once where you had to like bow, clap twice, and then like ring the bell.
I think I've been there.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, because I went to Japan
for
that's
right.
Like 9 days on vacation, and so like we hit all the temples.
Yeah.
Right, and they all have like the running water and and all the incense and everything else like that. So
I think that they believe in like spirits and stuff and spirituality, but they definitely wouldn't. Are not religious. That's not even like a conversation. Like if we'd be at a bar or something, like, do you believe in God? I'd be like, no, we don't.
Well, wouldn't that be closer to like Buddhism?
Yeah,
like
they call like
like
animism
on
basically.
The other side of the mountain there.
Like many kind of spirits and stuff. And like I said, there's a day where you like get food for your ancestors. You put it out. It's what they'd want to eat. You leave it for them.
Not unlike the in Mexico with the Day of the Dead, and then the day, I think it's like the Day of Life is the next day or something like that. We all got our own shit, man. We all got to do what we got to do to help us get, to sleep at night.
Through things. Well, that's what I mean. That's what's like so interesting to me is it's easy to say that these people are dumb or something or brainwashed, but like really it's just at its core level, like a person looking for some sort of meaning.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Like there's got to be something.
And they find something in it that like tethers them to that, and then
which goes to like AA where they have those 12 steps. Like find something to help you get to where you need to get on that first one.
Something to hold you accountable.
There's a higher power. It doesn't have to be God. Find something.
Yeah.
We're getting real heavy here.
Yeah, that's okay. Honestly, I'm just happy someone let me spout off about cults. I've been reading about it.
I'm game and to talk about anything and everything. I also do all kinds of research. I'll hit that bug and just click and read.
Checking them out, reading interviews, reading crazy stuff. And then probably another 2 weeks I'll be like, oh, I'm past that one. I'm going into Roman stuff now. Yeah.
Cool. Now what? What do you got?
I don't know. What do I got? What's coming up? It's almost going to be summertime.
Oh, I don't know. Are you sure? Because it fucking snowed the other day.
That's true. I did not expect that at all. And I was right because I told my girlfriend, I was like, I wouldn't plant this stuff yet in the garden. It might frost again, even though it doesn't seem like it. And then,
I mean, it says 70 on Sunday, 60s. So, I don't know.
Yeah, we got to be on the tail end.
Yeah, no, I remember saying that a week ago.
Yeah.
And people saying that to me, and then it snowed on Monday or whatever, Sunday night.
Yeah.
Bullshit, dude. Fucking bullshit.
Honestly, I don't mind it. I like the snow.
I hate it.
Really?
I hate it. You were born here? I hate it.
I hate the summer, like the dead of summer.
No!
Like once it's hot and like fiery, like in the smoke and everything, I'll be like...
Yeah, well...
I just mean the Reno.
I like it being hot outside and air conditioned inside.
Yes, I can get behind that. And vice versa. I like it cold outside and warm inside.
Well, I like being able to get up in the morning and not want to put a jacket on.
Yeah, instantly be really cold.
Just be comfortable.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah.
You can get behind that, right?
Yeah, no, I'm behind being chill for sure. But yeah, like I'm a pants man. Like
shorts all year.
Yeah.
Shorts all year. I don't even own a pair of pants at the moment. I don't think there might be a pair somewhere.
We're like opposite. We're like I'm like the anti-man. I'm like pants all year. It's got to be a real crisis for me to be wearing shorts.
Oh man, I know my legs are all fucking dinged up and shit too. So I had Zoogie over here and we were talking about when he was just like fucking crapped out at the rap party, just sitting over there.
Yeah.
We blame you for that.
Yeah, you guys. Man, to be fair though, I told him I was like, it's strong weed. Don't like go crazy. And if you don't like regularly smoke weed or whatever, my girlfriend was also kind of mad at me about that. Not mad at me, but she was being like, you did that to him, and I'm like, no, I didn't. I told him like, this is weed.
He's a big boy.
Yeah, exactly. He's an adult. He wanted to smoke it.
That was great though.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, he was laughing during the gag reel.
Yeah.
Before it was even on. And then he just chilled on the step the entire night.
He's like laying back. I have a picture of him laying with his leg up like out in the yard. Yeah, I can't be held responsible for that.
That's funny.
I just offered the option.
That's funny. Well, I mean, like, he was the only one. Like, more than him did it. Like, all you guys did
a bunch of us smoked him.
But he was like... it was on his ass.
He made the classic mistake. He went in... You know what I mean? Like when you smoke at first, if you take a hit, you're going to feel like you're not high. And you're going to be like, oh, well, give me another one. But
I mean, it's
that 5-minute delay, you're going to be...
Like, let it kick in before you make the decision that it's not kicked in yet.
Yeah. So I feel like he's like, yeah, I'm in again. And it was like, all right. And I assume that people smoke weed because I smoke weed and I work at a weed place, so I know that, you know what I mean? It's not uncommon for me. Now. So I'm like, oh, you want to smoke? Go ahead. I'm not really like even thinking about it, being like, maybe it's going to get this person super high.
No, it was good times though.
Yeah.
Good anecdotes to tell like on the podcast.
I had fun. Yeah, that was a cool
party.
So
we're telling the other half of that story now.
Yeah, brought some nice weed from work that I grew. Strong stuff. Passed it around. Told them it was strong. That's all I could do.
Well, everyone else seemed cool.
Yeah.
They seemed chill.
Yeah.
So.
It's okay. I have a good average. Good average.
What else is going on?
Man, I mean, that's... Let me think. Trying to plant a garden. Getting ready for the garden season.
Well, I mean, they say when the snow's off a Peavine. And it doesn't look like the snow's off a Peavine yet.
They're saying that some of these resorts and stuff are going to be open until July.
Yeah. Up to Tahoe.
Yeah, I guess like at Mammoth, there's like 50 feet of snow. Like people's houses are like up to the third story. You got to like go into the attic to enter the house because it's buried. Yeah.
Fuck that, dude. I hate the snow.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
That kind of snow is crazy, but yeah, I do like wintertime. I'm a sweater man.
I haven't been up there. Have you been up to Tahoe?
Not this winter. I want to kind of drive up there just to see the snow. Yeah.
Fuck.
It's like going through a tunnel. My parents drove through there. They said it was like, it's like you're in a tunnel everywhere. Really? Yeah, just because the roads are like totally just cut through, you know.
Go swim in the lake.
No. Dude, my girlfriend's been doing the cold plunge, trying to get me on that. I don't know about it though, but been going out of the river, and I'm saying all the snow melt has made the river so cold. Like you put your hand in there, just even for like 20 seconds, it like hurts.
Well, they say it's good for you. I watched the Chris Hemsworth documentary on Disney Plus.
Oh, and he says,
well, like he does an episode. Each episode he does like a different thing. So the first one is about stress and learning to beat the stress. So they have him walk on like this plank, like on like a 100-story high building or whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know. There's a real 100-story high, but like
just
super tall
up,
building, and he's walking on the edge of it, right? And then he's got to like turn around and come back. And, he beats, like, he does everything he's supposed to do. And then the next one, what was it? I think it was strength. And so they, like, dangled a rope down into a canyon that was, like, 100 stories high. I don't know. But he has to climb down and then climb back up.
Damn, the heights thing. I'm very afraid of heights. I don't know.
Yeah, no. I
couldn't do it.
So he had to do 2 heights things. And then he did one that was, like, they went into, like, the Arctic waters. He went and he had to swim in the cold water out to a thing.
Yeah.
And then once he reached where they needed him to reach, they went and picked him up and threw him back.
Yeah, the cold plunge thing's been, I've heard on like Rogan podcasts. I've heard it on, whatever. It seems like it's getting kind of more trendy. Andrew Huberman, these kind of people.
Like just trying to be healthy and live
well, yeah, and it's supposed to do something to you. Like cold shock proteins are supposed to activate. It's supposed to be good for your body.
Well, it all goes in. You should watch it. You have Disney Plus.
In that one, yeah.
Yeah, they every single one of them explains exactly what it does.
All the benefits.
Yeah, so like they do like a thing where they go into the body and the blood vessels and they show like it comes and it picks up the bad proteins or whatever it is, the bad cells, and then also doing like a sauna will also do the other half of it. So being in the cold, will do one half of it.
Go to the sauna,
but not like right away. But like, cold's only going to do one thing. A sauna will do another thing, and you just kind of combine them as necessary. And then he does like a fast for 4 days.
Damn.
So it's not that bad. It really isn't.
4 days?
Yeah. I've been doing it too. I've been trying to do it. Yeah. It's like I do like 3.5, like Sunday night. And
just
then,
only
like,
water?
Thursday morning. Yeah. It's actually like, it's really cool, like, because you'll hit certain points where like you feel like you're like high.
So you hallucinate?
Yeah. Not hallucinate. You just like burst of energy. It's a really cool, weird feeling. Like, man, I feel great. Right?
Yeah.
You think that you're going to be hungry. You'll be hungry, of course. But you think that like it gets worse. Like it's just like if you're hungry, you're hungry. It's not like a really bad hunger. It's just the regular hunger. It's all mental.
I guess you got
you haven't eaten shit in like 48 hours.
Yeah, 2 or 3 weeks before you'd be like in danger anyway, right?
I'm not sure what it is. I think it's only like 1 week.
Without food and you'd die?
Well, I mean, that's what I remember hearing as a kid. I don't know if that's true.
3 days without water, 3 weeks without food.
Oh, maybe.
But I can't, I don't know for sure.
You can probably go 3 days without water.
I think they're pushing it.
Yeah, no, you might be pushing it, but I think you'll live. They'll fucking hook an IV up to you and get some liquid
if you got the IV.
But like the fasting thing does shit for you too, right? It's supposed to help with the brain. I like doing it. But, like, you get hungry, and there's food around. It's like, I'm not in prison here.
Yeah.
But I've done a couple different 3-day stints, so. And then I think another one is about old age. And they, like, put, like all these, like, weights on him and put, like, certain things on him to make him feel and move like an old person.
What it feels like to be old, I see.
Is that it? There might have been another one in there somewhere, too.
I've seen, like, the trailer for this, but I didn't watch it
It's really good. Like, if you're into that kind of thing, it's really good. Yeah. And, like, he's a cool guy. So, like, it's not some, like, rando, right? It's Thor.
Yeah.
So, and they got the doctors on there and everything else that are, with him for it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a memory one where they're shown, like, a map.
Oh, I remember. It's a memory one.
They show him, like, a map, right? Him and his buddy or whatever looking at a map. And, like, if you force yourself to remember something, it, like, helps with your memory. So, like, they send him out to the Australian wilderness, and they're like, you need to get from here to here. right? Here's the map. You can only look at it now. You're not, no phones.
Yeah, you gotta remember it.
Right. So, like, if you don't, then you're lost or whatever. So that's what it was. But he completes all of them. Like,
he's got Thor-like memory.
Yeah. Well, like, it's like, if he didn't complete them, why would they bother airing it?
Exactly.
It's like, oh, you didn't climb the thing. Yeah. You weren't able to do that.
Doesn't look good for us, Chris.
Like, yeah, no, so.
Yeah.
But those are real fun. Check those out.
What about, you been watching Succession?
No, but I want to.
So good.
I want to. It's over now, though.
Final season right now.
It's not.
It's airing every week, yeah.
So the last episode hasn't aired yet?
It's season 4, episode 4 was the one this weekend. So this coming weekend will be episode 5.
Out of, what, 10?
10, yeah.
Okay. I want to watch it. But
it's
then again,
good.
like, I want to watch a lot of things.
That one I'm watching. That and Barry. Barry's in its final season.
I don't know what that is.
Barry is super good. It's like a dark comedy. It's Bill Hader.
Oh, Barry.
Yeah.
I was thinking like...
Oh, Barry Under the
something.
Ground?
Yeah.
No. Barry.
I wanted to watch Barry, too.
Barry's also very good. Yeah, very good.
And, like, Your Honor was something I heard is really good.
Your Honor, I haven't watched that one.
On Showtime. We're just finishing up Last of Us.
Last of Us, very good, too.
The Offer.
The Offer.
Have you watched that?
I'm trying to think. It sounds very familiar. What happens in The Offer?
It's the story of the making of The Godfather.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Fantastic.
I did see the preview for this one too. It is?
Fantastic.
Okay. Maybe I'll watch that one.
Who's
the guy in it? It's Miles Teller. Is that him? Yeah, okay, yeah. I have seen that one on there. I'll watch that.
Great.
Give me something to watch. Good, because that's the pain in the ass about all this. You have all these fucking streaming services, and then I go home at night and it's like, what do you want to watch?
It's all good, man.
Nothing on here.
But it's all good. Like, it's almost the opposite of there's nothing to watch. It's like there's too many
much,
good.
Yeah,
like,
everything
let's just
will
watch
be good.
Something that we know.
True, golden age.
Some Sunny.
Yeah. Sunny, that new season will be coming.
I don't think they're filming. Are they filming anything right now?
They already filmed it, I think. The season 16 yeah.
Okay. Because I'm going through 15 right now.
Oh, yeah.
So I've got one more to watch on that. Because it's like, it's hard to keep up with some of these. Like, I know, because Sunny was on TV, and then it was only on, like, FXX or something. Yeah. So then I only get it on Hulu.
Yeah.
And then I'll forget, and then it's like, oh, I got, like, 5 seasons that I can watch.
Well, that's sweet, though. I love that feeling of being like, holy shit, I found a new thing that's awesome, and it has 4 seasons or whatever.
Yes, but then you got, like, malaise and afterwards, once it's all over and done with, well, what the fuck do I do now?
Yeah. That's true.
Breaking Bad was that way. Have you watched Breaking Bad?
Love
Breaking Bad.
They just put Better Call Saul the last season on Netflix. I need to watch that.
I bought it so that I could watch it.
Better Call Saul is great, but I haven't seen the last season yet, the final season.
It is great.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard to maintain a level of quality on a TV show. Like, but Breaking Bad was, like, consistent every single season. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. And then it's like, well, is Better Call Saul really going to be that good? Yep. And it is just as good.
It totally is. Like, I mean, up to what I've seen so far.
Even without, like, the Breaking Bad of it all. Right? Yeah. It's almost, because he's obviously older, playing a younger version, but you almost have to take that out anyways, because it's just like... I mean,
you know it like in your mind.
He's not the same guy.
Yeah, he's not.
So, but it's
Jimmy
really
McGill.
Good. Jimmy McGill. Man.
Yeah,
I want to watch Breaking Bad again now.
I went back through it again, and it holds up. Like, when I first saw it all, I was like, this is the best series I've ever seen. And then now I watch it back and again, it's like, this is still...
Yeah, it still holds up.
Like, up there with one of the best, if not the best series ever. Like, just the whole arc of it is,
Well, I've always, like Game of Thrones, because I got all the tattoos.
Yeah, Game of Thrones.
But, like, the last season, like, took a
dip.
They
fucked it on the show.
I mean, like, 5 sucked. I didn't like season 5 at all. But they came back up with 6 and 7. And then, like, 8 was terrible. Like,
it was. I'm still holding out for the books, and then for me, like, it was...
Sure, the book... Do you think he's going to die?
I think he's probably going to die. He for sure won't finish the whole series, because there's still supposed to be 2 or 3 more books, even. He originally said there would be The Winds of Winter, A Time
Dream of Spring.
Yeah, Dream of Spring, and then one more, Time for Wolves or something like that. And But now he's, I think, shortened it back to being like, no, there'll be 2 more, but even that, I really doubt.
He might just be, like, trying to just write...
Yeah.
Until it's done.
I think he's probably, like, what I've read online and I agree with is that he's probably, like, kind of living in fear of his own creation now. You know what I mean? Like, he's already, because the show is finished and it kind of maybe knew, like, the generalized way that he was going to do it, he probably feels like, well, I can't write it that way because people didn't like it and it didn't get handled well, but I gotta write something that's just as good as that. And there's so much more tension now, and there's
Have
so
you
much
read
more.
The books?
Yeah.
Okay.
The books are amazing. Like
fantastic.
They're so good.
Fantastic.
Yeah. That's why it upsets me so much about the season 8 of the show, because the books, I know that whatever he does in the book is going to be so much better. Like, and so much it'll make so much more sense.
Liked in the books. One of the things that I really liked in the books wasn't even in the show. Like, do you remember the books at all?
Yeah, I haven't been
so like the Dorn stuff.
Oh yeah.
I really liked the Dorn stuff, like the chick character that was like the princess or whatever.
Yeah.
I really liked that character.
And the Dark Star and all that. The guy Dark Star.
The knight that was with her.
Yeah.
But he dies. He gets his head cut off.
There's that's what I mean. I'm talking about that at the end of it. Yeah.
And I really liked the Greyjoy stuff.
Me
and
too.
They changed
Victarion
all that
and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, Victarion. Yes,
yeah, and they
absolutely.
don't even have him in there. Yeah.
Like there's this whole thing where he's on the ship.
Yeah.
And it was fantastic.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. I feel like in the
he's
real
got like a
story,
black arm.
Yeah.
Like he gets like grayscale. I forget what it is. It might not be grayscale.
No, he has like a smoking wound. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because one of the red priests comes in and burns it out of him, and he's got what the fuck? This cool, awesome
well, I'm
shit.
saying, and really, in the real book and stuff, it seems likely that he's gonna go join Daenerys, and the's gonna be a whole other a whole plot line. Yeah, it won't be Euron, and it'll be it's so much more nuanced.
Euron's got
stuff.
an eye patch.
Yeah. He's got an eye patch, and he's more I don't know, not in the show. They kind of made him like Jack Sparrow, like suave Jack Sparrow.
They really, And what's the Catelyn Stark character? Lady Stoneheart.
Oh yeah, Lady Stoneheart, totally cut from the show. Yeah, I just think they'll be way more sad if he writes it and finishes it. The detail and I love that Game of Thrones has so many characters beyond everything, like minor houses, small things, people that come in and go.
And it all works.
Yeah, and it works, and it all is such a complicated web, like real life. In the show, it got boiled down to here's your 10 main people, and somehow they're all directly.
Check this out, though. All right, I let them off the hook because they put out a book about the making of Game of Thrones, and it explains all that. Right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because actors, it's their job, right?
Yeah.
So if you say we're going to do a season without this character, well, I'm going to go find a new job.
Yeah,
then.
Find something else to do.
So they can't pay them to not work.
Yeah.
To hold their spot. So they have to really just kind of pick what they can stick with.
Yeah, it's
so
unrealistic to keep
now.
100 actors.
Right. So they explain it perfectly well, and then it's yeah, I guess fine, okay. Yeah. But still,
I think it was that, and it's just they really
let's do it into an anime or something.
I've seen that on there, online people saying that one, the anime thing.
Because One Piece has been going on 1,000+ episodes. Let's get 1,000+ episodes of Game of Thrones, man.
It's just also kind of it's unfair to the creators of the show, Benioff and Weiss or whatever, because they started, this entire season George R. R. Martin didn't finish one book.
Yeah.
They started way ahead and went, don't worry, we've got 5 books to get through before we get to you.
And then, you know what? It felt to me like they saw the finish line and wanted to do with what was next, which they got a Star Wars show, which they don't even have anymore.
Exactly.
So I thought they're oh, well, fuck, let's get this shit done real quick.
Yeah. But it seems like George R. R. Martin just said, oh yeah, maybe Bran is the king and, Jon gets this happen. Very vague, outlines, and then... Yeah, I almost wish they would have paused it and just been we're not coming back until the book's done, and then that would have been equally as bad. We would have been double cliffhanger, but dude's been posting on his blog for 8 years, being working on Winds of Winter.
Well,
should be here in a couple.
Well, now he just posted. Did you see what he just posted?
No, did he just post one?
Yeah, they're gonna do a series for Duncan Egg. So there's a Duncan Eggs.
See that too? He's too distracted. He's got too many things going on. Because Fire and Blood is great. The show's great. The book is great.
70+. So it's well, I got money coming in.
Yeah.
Do I really?
A lot of money.
I'm an old guy.
Yeah.
I love writing, but now it's retirement time.
It's kind of he's got ADD a little bit. He's it'll be oh, I have this new sci-fi series, and I have this, and then a new, you know what I mean? He's constantly...
it seems like he's always been like that, now that you mention it, because he's all the wild card shit.
Yeah, I've
read his short story book, the, Song of Dragons or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Dream of Dragons, I don't know what it is. But, he's got a bunch of different shit. He's got regular stories, sci-fi stories, ghost stories, fantasy stories.
Sorry,
Are you good on time? Do you need to go?
No, I'm good. I just got a text message. I was going, why is someone texting me so much?
You're blowing up. But yeah, like, so, like, he always seemed like probably he was that ADD guy.
Yeah.
And he started with, like, comic books. Like, like that's the big story is he started fandom by, like, writing into a comic book.
He's probably just used to not being so popular. Like, he's always been kind of popular, you know, but before Game of Thrones, you could kind of just, he probably was like, I can work on this and work on that and work on this.
In the background, right? Because Game of Thrones is from, like, 96.
Yeah.
And it didn't get big until
I'm saying I read the last Game of Thrones book I got in 2011. I remember I was like on a trip and I bought it, and was being like, holy crap, I read this book, and so that's 12 years ago. It's crazy. And then when I bought that book, people online were being like, we've been waiting for this book for 10 years or whatever it was. Like,
I mean, it's still a huge chunk of story, you know, from the first page of the first book to the last page of the most recent one. Like, that's still... Like,
it's a ton. Yeah, it's
massive.
Huge.
Like, you know, but it's probably time for him to just like no,
or just I don't know. He should just buckle down, finish it. You got to at least. I know it's such an.
He don't got to do shit. He doesn't. That's his point. It's like he doesn't got to do shit.
I know, but who's he really showing? He's like, I could die and not finish this at all. We're like, yeah, you totally could, and then your magnum opus would remain unfinished.
Even if he died, I will take whatever unfinished shit that he has and read the fuck out of it.
Yeah, me too. I just hope they don't do the thing where he dies or something, and then they have somebody else finish it.
Like ghostwrite it.
Yeah, and it's like someone imitating his style or whatever.
The neighbor's son or whatever.
Yeah, like I'd almost rather not have an ending to it than have like someone finish it for him.
Well, I know like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Like someone wrote like a new last book or something. I don't think people liked it.
Didn't they do that with Wheel of Time too? Is that the series I'm thinking
Maybe.
of?
I mean, it's probably common
practice.
Yeah,
I think there was like I think Wheel of Time is a bunch of books, and then at the end the guy died, and his like son or friend or someone finished it, and
kept writing.
Yeah, I don't know if like it's good or bad. It's just more like I don't know. It feels like jarring. It's like on a TV show when they replace the character of the new actor, and they're like, "Don't ignore this, go on in." Yeah.
Well, like Batwoman. Do you ever watch any like the DC shows?
A little bit, but didn't Batwoman get? Or am I thinking Catwoman? Which one got canceled or never got released?
Oh well, Batgirl the movie.
Oh, okay, it never got released.
Well, HBO got a new like CEO or whatever, and he was like, "This movie's not very good. We're not going to release it. We're going to do it as a tax write-off, and it'll never see the light of day." Which sucks, because, like, Michael Keaton was Batman in that.
Yeah. He's reprising his role?
Are you not following it?
No, I don't. Like I said, I'm not really big on the superheroes.
The Flash movie. Michael Keaton's Batman in that. And then they also...
In this new one, the Ezra Miller one that's about to come out?
Have you not seen the trailer?
No, I didn't. Dude, all I've seen is him like being... Like I said, I'm not trying to be a hater, but I'm not into the superhero ones really at all.
Oh, you're killing me over here.
The last one I saw was...
Iron Man.
I saw Endgame. I saw...
But did you see the 20 that came before it?
No, I saw Infinity War.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, I mean, I know like of them. You know, I saw.
Who's the grimmest?
My favorite superhero ones are definitely the Dark Knight.
You're fine.
Like the Christian Bale Dark Knights, and then I really liked the Hulk when Edward Norton was the Hulk.
Okay, so
just sporadically,
I liked Edward Norton as Hulk.
Yeah,
right? I'm not, but everyone loves Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo.
Hulk. So I guess you don't go nerd deep with me on
the superheroes.
Yeah, so Michael Keaton, obviously, he's back as Batman in The Flash.
Okay.
And then they got him to do Batgirl as well, same character. Come back as like Batman as like a mentor to the new Batgirl. But then they shelved it forever. Like it can never make money or be seen because of the tax write-off that they had to do for it.
Oh, I see.
So like it would, I don't know if illegal's the word to use if anyone saw it or it got out. But because of what they used it for,
yeah,
we're never gonna see that.
Yeah, unless somebody like some hacker, disgruntled employee leaks it or something.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, even then, was it a totally finished movie or was it?
That's a real good question.
Because I'm saying it could be leaked, but what if it's just shots and pickups?
Well, I think it might have been if mostly done, if not all the way done, and they were just like, it's not, no one's really liking it, so let's just write it off instead of paying the money to promote it and put it out in theaters. Yeah. If it's not going to make any money, let's get back what we know that we can get back through taxes. They showed it to the people that made it, right? They had screenings on the lot or something, but then they're like locking it away into a vault forever because of the legality of it all. But yeah, like the thing was Michael Keaton's coming back.
I didn't know that.
Because like
Because isn't there a Batman
Classic
series
Batman.
that is later like Batman older that would fit with
like
him?
Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like the thought is like let him be like the old Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
training like a younger one, which might be what he's doing with the Flash in the Flash movie, or with Supergirl.
Training him how to assault
Maybe you should
people
watch
in Hawaii.
that trailer, okay? Yeah, he's like, don't do that.
Yeah, I'll show you how to start a cult in Vermont or whatever he was doing.
Oh, dude, that's so fucked up, man. Like he kidnapped girls, right? And
Something
he was,
like that. Or, yeah, was like
brainwashing
having them out there, and had like weapons and drugs and all this shit on some big farm in Vermont.
Man, the next David Koresh.
Yeah, could be. I mean, he seems like a psycho, honestly, but
It's so strange, but like they've got so much invested in the Flash.
yeah, and if they shelved
that
the
they're
Batgirl
like-
movie, they lost the money on this already too. You know what I mean? They can't just be scrapping everything.
It looks pretty badass, though. You should watch that trailer.
Yeah, I'll
for
check
the
it out.
Flash. All right,
I didn't even know there was a trailer out for it.
Oh man, you're killing me over
I'm
here.
gonna say I didn't know.
But I was talking about Batwoman because you brought up the casting a new actor. So in Batwoman, the TV show, like there was a chick playing Batwoman, right? And then she was like, "It's too much to be the lead on this type of a show, so I don't want to do it anymore. You know, maybe I'll come back, but like I need a break from this." So then they cast a different chick to play a different character, but she ultimately became Batwoman. And then they just were like, we're not going to bring that other one back. So then they had like her character get into like a plane crash, and they're like, she got like facial surgery. So now this is what she looks like, this new actress.
Like an in-universe justification.
Right. So obviously they're like, we're never going to bring her back. So yeah, that's like that whole like recasting someone in a show. It's like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, I'll say you just got to accept it, I guess, if they're already... I'm trying to think of some other good ones where that happened. It happened on that 70s show for sure.
Did it? Did they cast a different
Just
actor?
remember at the very end when that guy came in and they did the same kind of thing.
I never watched that.
It wasn't a recast, but basically like when the main guys left and Ashton Kutcher left, they brought in a dude who was like, his name was Randy, and he plays pretty much the same kind of character as him and has the same kind of like...
We're never going to love this
guy
and
it was like, well, Kelso's gone, but now we got Randy, blah, blah, blah. So they just like kind of vaguely like substituted.
But then they came back for that 90s show, no? Was it 90s?
Yeah, they did, but...
Did you watch that?
Yeah, I wasn't very good. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
I only watched a few of the first maybe 3 or 4, and I wasn't vibing with it.
Well, I'm like, I don't remember the 90s being like this. It wasn't like that around here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I felt like that too, and just the... Yeah, I don't know. Kayla was saying to me, like, the laugh track seems strange in this, and I don't know. I just felt, yeah, I didn't like it as much. But there's a girl at my work who's being like, it's the best thing I've seen. You got to watch it. She's telling everyone.
I lived it, motherfucker.
Yeah, I was alive in the 90s, yeah.
Well, it's like Blossom was a show that was on in the 90s. It was very much like probably what they were trying to go for.
Yeah, trying to have...
by way of that 70s show. But, like, what blows me my mind is, like, okay, I'm watching this in probably, was it last year or was it earlier this year? So, like, 2023, I'm watching it, right?
I think earlier this year, yeah.
It's like, I wonder if when that 70s show came out fucking 20 years ago, if people my age now are like, this isn't like what the 70s
I think they
like.
definitely must have been, yeah.
I had a real surreal fucked up moment in my head. Like, getting older is fucking with my head. How old are you?
33.
33, okay, so I'm like 5 years older than you are, so you were born like in 90?
Yeah, 90.
Okay, you're like the same age as my brother.
Oh, nice.
And you're from around here?
Yep, from here. Born at St. Mary's.
Where did you go to school?
Spanish Springs.
Oh,
like Spanish Springs Elementary, Sparks Middle School, then Spanish Springs High School.
All Sparks, okay. My people were out here in Reno
Yeah.
instead area.
Yeah. So I always my parents live out like kind of on the way to Pyramid Lake out there.
Oh, shit.
Not all the way out to Pyramid Lake, but I mean they live, Calle de la Plata, they live like kind of used to be the last turn before the dirt. And then they
Well, I got a buddy that lives across the street from Spanish Springs High School.
Yeah.
So, like, off Eagle Canyon.
Yeah. That's where my drummer used to live.
It sucks going out there. Really?
That's where we'd always be practicing stuff in his garage, like right out there by the high school. Yeah.
Did we talk about Off Mentis? My buddy was in Off Mentis. They don't do anything anymore.
I think I've heard the name, but I don't.
Probably from me in the last episode when we were talking about music.
We might have been
such.
talking about it.
But that band broke up. COVID killed
Moment
them.
of silence. Basically what happened with my theater group.
Pour one out for Off Mentis.
Yeah, there we go. Rest in peace.
I think we're right about at an hour.
Cool.
So we could wrap this up, unless you got any last words.
I'll bring it full circle. That 70s show had Danny Masterson, who had to get recast because he's a Scientologist rapist.
Are you talking about in...
I just mean in that
Ranch.
90s show, when they say...
Oh,
Where's Hyde? Oh, he's in prison. They say
Did they say that?
Yeah, which makes sense for the character.
I didn't hear that.
Because he would be in jail.
I must have gone to the bathroom.
They always say, in the earlier ones, Hyde's going to be in jail. Hyde's going to be in jail. But, he is in jail because he's a rapist.
Yeah, well, and he was on the ranch. He was a producer on the ranch, too. That was his show.
Booted from all
him
that.
and Ashton Kutcher, and,
yeah, dark and brutal. Scientology's protecting him. He's a rapist.
Jesus Christ.
I know. Just want to send that out there. There you go. Demonetize us.
Bring it on a down note, man.
So check out Scientology. Check out Jim Jones.
Check out Midnight Bloodshed.
Check out Midnight Bloodshed. Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me back.
No problem. We'll get you back again. You're one of the only recurring one of the recent people.
Sweet.
So you and Damon so far.
Nice.
We got to get you both on.
Yeah, same time.
All right. Well, that's Sequel Podcast. I'm Matt Bonta.
And I'm Drew Ernhout.
See you later.